There are rules and patterns that define and describe compelling content. Here's an overview. Hi everybody, my name is Greg Crable and this is my podcast, Something I Learned Yesterday, where in just a couple minutes I try to make you smarter as a publisher. The Babylon Bee had a great bit recently where a husband is complaining that his wife wants to have deep conversations, but she won't even listen to his podcast. That's essentially the message of Nobody Wants to Read Your Stuff by Steven Pressfield. Now, let's break down what's going on with this fictional married couple. The husband feels that he's saying lots of deep and important things on his podcast. And if his wife really wanted to share those things with him, she'd listen. From her perspective, the podcast is boring. It's not in her love language or one of those pop culture excuses. But that's really not it. The wife doesn't listen to the podcast because the husband isn't expressing those allegedly deep and important thoughts so that they resonate with his wife. Also, she wants to be special, not just somebody in the audience. But let's step back from the wife and ask, why does somebody, anybody, the wife or anybody else, want to listen to a podcast or read a blog or the latest version of the great American novel? The reader wants something interesting, something compelling, fun, inventive, not boring, something that's a better use of their time than a popular TV show. Writers and podcasters and all content creators have to create content with some empathy for their audience. Now, this is the hard truth. Nobody, except maybe your mother, gives a hoot about your product, your podcast, your book, your blog, or anything else, unless it has some benefit for them. Creators have to give the readers what they crave. And what they crave, whether they know it or not, is content that follows certain rules. Now, here's a summary of those rules. First, you need a concept and a theme. The concept is what the story is about at a high level, such as scientists bring dinosaurs back to life and then lose control of them. It should put the idea in a context that makes the reader or the viewer see it with fresh eyes. A theme is the underlying meaning, like the dangers of playing God and tampering with nature. Okay, second, your content needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. Or in other words, a hook, a build, and a payoff. Third, there has to be an inciting incident that starts the story and grabs the listener's attention. Fourth, there has to be a hero and a villain. The villain dominates the second part of the story, building tension, suspense, what's at stake, and so on. Fifth, there has to be a resolution where the hero wins against the forces of darkness. Now, there's a lot more in the book, and if you're in the content creation business, I recommend that you read it. Unlike most business books, it's short and easy to read. And it sounds as if it only applies to fiction, but it doesn't. He makes a good case that you can apply the same strategy to other kinds of medium. And speaking of short books, I just recently wrote one on customer data platforms. You can see it right there. I'd love you to get a copy. It's available in paperback from Amazon and is available as an ebook download from my website. So give it a look and tell me what you think. Thanks so much for your time.